Hi guys, Maikeru here. This is my Efficient Abyss Runecrafting guide. In this video I'm going to compare nature versus blood runes and show you how to get over 7 million GP an hour and get some insane XP at the same time. I will not be talking about soul runes in this video because you don't make much money with them and this is a efficient money making guide. I'll be speaking about the money you make now with the additional magical thread from the bounty hunter update as well, alongside the sheer amount of runes that you can make in an hour. So let's get right into this guide. There is one super important thing to note when making blood runes. You need Mauritania legs 2 or higher. This means you need to do the medium Mauritania tasks or higher. The reason why you want these is because it gives a 10% chance to make a second blood rune on craft, and that's per essence used. This will make you extra runes, which gives you more XP, and you'll be getting more money from the extra runes as well. This is why blood runes are just so awesome XP. This 10% chance to make extra runes is pretty much just 10% more XP and 10% more GP. So without this, you won't be making as much XP or GP. Any full ethereal outfit gives this buff when worn if you have the Mauritania legs in your bank. So make sure you have these Mauritania legs if you want to be super efficient. If you're not wearing these, expect 10% less. Second important thing that doesn't just apply to bloods is the Hero's Welcome quest. It's important that you get this quest done if you want to be efficient again. You get 5% more runes crafted with this quest complete. So completing this is worth doing for any rune because you get 5% more runes made no matter what the rune is. As this is an efficient guide, I would recommend this because the 5% really does add up, just like the 10% with Mauritania legs. Now time to explain my setup. I have 2 presets. I have one to fill my pouches and one to go to the Abyss with. For the one that I'm filling my pouches with, I don't have any urns on me or anything like that because it takes up extra inventory space and you want to fill your pouches all at once. I also include my combined catalyst fragment, which has a chance of my pouches not degrading when they're filled. So you only need this fragment when you're filling your pouches, which means you can switch it out afterwards. I'll put this preset on. I'll press all of the keys on my keyboard for my action bar, which do my pouches, they take from my bob and fill up the other. If you put your action bar this way, it means that you're always going to use every single essence to fill everything up, except for the massive pouch if you're using one. So I'd press 1 and it fills my body. I press 2, it fills the small pouch. 3 then fills the medium pouch. Then I take from Bob, which puts all the 20 essence in my inventory. Then I press 5 to fill my giant and 6 to fill my large. And all my pouches are filled except for the massive. This is when I'll open up the bank, fill the massive pouch, and press my second preset. As you can see, this preset is different. The reason why this preset is different is because I have an enhanced Excalibur with mobile on it as my offhand instead of the fragment. The reason why I have enhanced Excalibur with mobile is because it's very cheap to reclaim if you do die. And I need 2 one-handed melee weapons to use Bladed Dive. Bladed Dive and Surge with mobile are so helpful here. They make you make so many more runes an hour. I then also incorporate a shield into my inventory. So if I get PK'd, I can quickly put on the shield, resonance one of their abilities, which means they won't hit me at all, and I'll heal. Then I'll be able to Surge away or Bladed Dive away or whatever I need to do to escape. A shield has definitely saved my life multiple times here because you stop the damage they're dealing and you heal, so it's essentially a free food. And then I include the runecrafting urns and the urn enhancer for extra experience. You might as well bring runecrafting urns for 20% more experience, and if you have the urn enhancer, that's an extra 5%, so that's 25% more experience just bringing these. And that's essentially it for my setup. So I've just done my blood runes run. I'll press Z to go to Edgeville. Then when I get to Edgeville, there's a little bit of a delay when running, so you'll do a really speedy run if you click on the bank early. When I open up the bank, I press my preset. I run my fingers across my keyboard and it does all of my pouches really quickly. I've opened up the bank again, right click, fill my massive pouch, and as you can see, the combined catalyst fragment stopped it degrading, which is lovely, and that's why I have the catalyst fragment in my setup. Then I press number 1, it does all of my setup again, and this is where you Bladed Dive, Surge, and everything like that. So when it comes to the Bladed Dive and Surge, I normally run out of the bank, Bladed Dive here, and it will go diagonally, and then you can Surge to the Wilderness Wall. Then you jump over the Wilderness Wall. When you're running up, that means your Surge and Bladed Dive are coming off of cooldown, and you can either barge or Bladed Dive, depending on which one's better. There's no skeletons around the mage, so I'll Bladed Dive and teleport. If there's skeletons near the mage, you barge them. When there's abyssal creatures nearby, you can barge the abyssal creature to get to like the rocks and stuff easier if you want to. but line of sight can sometimes mess that up. So typically run into the rocks and things like that is fine, but if you have a clear line to barge, that's also very nice. Because I landed like here, I could bladed dive if I wanted to, so like I could run towards the portal, bladed dive, go through, but you really don't have to, you could just run. Bladed dive in the middle of the abyss is best when you're on the other side. What I mean is if I'm on this side, I can like run over where the nature altar is, get my bladed dive ready and bladed dive straight through everything and go through the blood rift very, very easy. That saves so much time, bladed dive and surging through obstacles. You can do it with surge as well, but it's a bit harder to do because you have to line up surge. Bladed dive, you can literally pinpoint accuracy. So when it comes to surge, you have to kind of like line it up so you're diagonally facing it and then surge, which is much harder and less consistent to do in my opinion. But say bladed dive's on cooldown or whatever, you can do it with surge, but you have to line it up. That's why I prefer bladed dive. You can just click, you don't have to line it up. As you can see, you can go either way. So if you go into the nature rift, you can go that way through as well. You can also do it on this rock as well. So if you needed to get through it, you can bladed dive through, or say you're the opposite side as well. You can easily surge or bladed dive right the way through. So you can combine this together for even more time saving. You can save like up to 10 seconds doing this if you do it effectively. So what do I mean by combining it together? If you've gone through these tendrils and you're like, oh, it's taking forever, you can kind of just like run here, get ready, surge through, and you'll go straight through, right? And then you can run here, get ready, and bladed dive through as well. And boom, you've saved so much time. It's absolutely fantastic. It's so good. Obviously, it's harder to do quickly, so I'll just showcase how quick you can do it. So you've broken through, you run over here, you get ready to line up your surge, you line up your surge, you surge through, you line up your bladed dive, you bladed dive through, and you can literally click the blood rift and you're done. And if you do that consistently, saving 5 to 10 seconds every single run makes so many more runes an hour. I did this efficient runecrafting for an hour with both bloods and natures, and then I continued doing multiple hours of bloods after this because I was really enjoying it and it's so good money and XP. So I got a feeling of the consistent XP, and it typically gave me a look into how much GP an hour and stuff things are. This then allows me to easily compare natures to bloods, and we can really see just how much GP an hour both things are and how much experience an hour both things are. I'm just putting everything into practice that I spoke about with the bladed diving, with the surging, with the barging, everything like that, and it just makes it so easy to do. Obviously, you can't bladed dive and surge in the wilderness, but you can barge and bladed dive, and PKers really don't expect it. So I'll quickly show you a clip where I barged and bladed dive to dodge a PKer, and I done that on stream as well. He was hopping worlds continuously to try and find me and PK me. If you keep your cool, it's actually kinda okay to dodge PKers. And then once you've dodged them, you can just hop worlds, which takes a couple of seconds, and then get back to runecrafting. Remember to stop PKers following you. You want to turn your private off. You want to leave your clan chat channel and friends chat channel, everything like that. Just to make sure they can't follow your world as well. Oh, it is Grumpy Git again. Hey, see you later, boy. So as you can see from this clip, I used him as the obstacle as I barged. They don't typically expect this, and then you can like bladed dive, quickly get a teleport before they teleblock you or whatever. But if they instantly teleblock you and you don't have time to bladed dive or whatever, just go the opposite way, put your shield on, resonance, and you're fine. Rune pouches can now be obtained from the Abyss. While runecrafting in the Abyss, you'll obtain magical threads which can be used to create the small and large rune pouches now. The rate of the threads scales alongside your level, and it can be affected by demonic skull and things like that to increase it. So if you're running the Abyss with a demonic skull with like 99 runecrafting, you're going to get a decent amount of thread every hour, which then will add to how much money you make from runecrafting by combining these threads into small or large runecrafting pouches. When it comes to a small runecrafting pouch, it requires 30 threads and 55 runecrafting. A large rune pouch requires 100 threads and 90 runecrafting. The cool thing about threads is you can sell them individually as well, which means if a rune pouch is like 3.5 mil, 35k per thread, pretty nice, means you don't have to save up all 100 to make one. You could just sell the 20 you got in 1 hour or whatever. Looking at the mid prices of each thing in a price check, it's 7.25 mil for that hour of bloods, which is just downright insane. If you do it efficiently, you can make so many blood runes in an hour. Get all of those juicy procs with the Mauritania legs. Get all of that thread as well. Perfect. Gonna sell this on GE and see the exact amount that I made. The thread sold for about 1.5 times over mid, which was really nice. And then looking at the blood runes, they also sold for around mid price. This means that we made 7.45 million GP in that hour. So nearly 7.5 mil in 1 hour of runecrafting is just mad to me. So awesome. So great. 48k per thread might be a bit too expensive because that would be 4.8 mil for a rune pouch. They used to settle around 3 to 3.5 mil, so I'm probably expecting the thread to settle around 35k each. But even if the thread was 35k each, that still would have been over 7 mil in an hour, which is just fantastic. So happy with the GP an hour, and the extra mil in that hour just from thread is really, really nice. So this update alone has added an extra mil on the blood rune hour. Lovely. I thought blood runes were going to be better than nature's because of the Mauritania legs giving you the double blood sometimes, and then being 700 GP each and nature's only 400 means blood runes are actually more GP an hour right now. Double nature's, I got nearly 15,000 natures, and I actually got the exactly same amount of thread in the hour, which was 19. Thread goes by the amount of essence you use, not the tier. So pretty much whenever you're doing runecrafting, you're going to get the same amount if you're using the same amount of runes. No matter what you're doing for runecrafting, if you're using the same amount of rune S, then you should be getting around the same thread, and that shows it here, which is cool. So let's go sell these on the GE, see if they sell over mid or anything like that, and see how much money I made in this hour. The thread is already going down. As you can see, they sold for 40k each. It makes more sense to them being like 30, 35k each or something when they settle. And I got exactly mid for my nature runes, which means I made around 7 mil. So you're getting about 500k an hour more by doing blood runes right now. Obviously, it depends on procs, but that's insane. That is so awesome. Blood runes are about 15% more XP. That's really, really nice. Now let's look at how much GP and XP we made with blood runes. Blood runes have always been my favourite rune, and I like them even more than souls, to be honest. The Abyss experience an hour with the demonic skull and bonus experience was 390 to 420k experience an hour. I personally put all my bonus experience into runecrafting because it's quite annoying to train, and it gives you a decent amount more XP an hour. And you don't use up all the bonus experience all at once because of the demonic skull XP and the fact that it doesn't fully double your XP. And I kind of like having bonus XP for a longer period of time. If you're going to do the Abyss without bonus XP and the demonic skull though, you should expect around 325 to 350k experience an hour. The GP I made with my runes was 6.6 mil. The GP from those 19 thread, depending on how much they're going to sell for, is anywhere between 600 to 900k. Need to wait until they're settled to get an exact amount from that. This means the total GP an hour from this is 7.2 to 7.5 mil GP an hour. That's outright insane. 350k experience an hour and over 7 mil GP an hour is just crazy. When it comes to the nature runes are really, really cheap currently. They're just over 400 GP each. When you do the Abyss with bonus XP and a demonic skull, you can get around 325 to 350k experience an hour with nature runes. Abyss without the bonus XP and skull would be about 280 to 300k experience an hour. The GP I made with the nature runes was less than the bloods and was only 6.15 mil. We got 19 thread again, which seems like a consistent thing, and we made 600 to 900k from that again, same as before. This means the total GP an hour of nature runes doing double natures is 6.8 to 7 mil GP an hour. You're getting 500k GP an hour more with blood runes. And you're getting, 50k experience an hour more as well. It's just crazy. 15% more XP and nearly 10% more GP. Why would you not do blood runes? Jesus, they're so good right now. Definitely worth doing. And that will be it for this video. Like I said, I wasn't doing soul runes in this one because I was just checking out the efficient GP with the addition of magical thread. If you guys are interested in an efficient soul rune guide like this, let me know in the comments down below and I'll see what I can do. Hopefully this guide was helpful and you learned some stuff you didn't know already. Blood runes are just fantastic. But obviously if you choose to do souls for their semi-AFK factor or whatever, that's fine too. I just personally don't want to lose that much money to do souls for pretty much no profit. Either way, do give the video a like if you did enjoy, subscribe if you're new for loads of future content all related to RuneScape 3, and until next time, see ya.